Are you navigating the maze of school support options? From basic classroom assistance to specialized services like IEPs and 504 plans, understanding the levels of support can unlock your child's full potential. Whether it's enrichment for advanced learners or tailored help for unique challenges, we'll break it all down for you, quickly and clearly. Let's make sure your child gets the support they need to thrive. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Marie Donna, a youth, adult, and reproductive psychiatrist, and in today's video, we're diving into an important topic for both parents and students: educational support. Whether your child has ADHD, a learning disability, or another challenge, both 504 plans and individualized education plans, or IEPs, can offer critical support. But which one is the right fit? That's exactly what we're going to explore today, so stick around as we clarify the differences, how they work, and how you can navigate the system to get the support that you need. Well, let's just get back to the basics of school support. School support refers to resources, programs, and accommodations designed to help students succeed academically, socially, and emotionally. So what are the different levels of support? There's universal support, and that's available to all students, such as differentiated teaching, after-school programs, things like that, counseling, etc. Targeted supports: small group interventions, tutoring, or counseling for students who need extra help. And then there's individualized support, and this is where IEPs and 504 plans come into play for kids with specific needs. So, why educational support matters. For students with disabilities or learning challenges, support can be the key to success in school. Both 504 plans and IEPs are designed to ensure that students have equal access to education, helping them to overcome barriers related to their condition. These programs are legally mandated in the United States under federal law, Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act and the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA. However, while they share the same goal, providing access to education, their approach, eligibility criteria, and support mechanisms differ. So, key definitions. A 504 plan is part of Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, and this is a civil law. It ensures that students with disabilities have access to the same educational opportunities as their peers. The IEP, Individualized Education Program, is a plan or program developed to ensure that a child with a disability receives specialized instruction and services tailored to their individual needs under IDEA. So, who qualifies for a 504 plan? A 504 is available to students who have a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activity, such as learning, walking, speaking, or seeing. Students with conditions such as ADHD, asthma, diabetes, or anxiety may qualify. The focus is not necessarily on needing special education services, but ensuring that the student has access to the same educational opportunities as their peers. So what's included in a 504? The 504 plan provides accommodations and modifications to help students succeed in the classroom. Examples can include extended time on tests, a quiet space for taking exams, preferential seating in the classroom or otherwise, and written instructions for assignments. Also, additional breaks during class if needed. The 504 plan is more flexible and does not involve specialized instruction, as it focuses on accommodations that enable the student to participate in general education environment. So how does it work? The 504 plan is generally created by a team that includes the school administration, teachers, counselors, and sometimes the parents. For students with disabilities that impact learning but don't require special education, like diabetes and anxiety, would be incorporated, and it can also focus on accommodations like extended test time or preferential seating, like the examples listed above. The plan is designed to level the playing field and provide supports without altering the curriculum or teaching methods. It's reviewed periodically, but adjustments can be made as needed. And well, what is an IEP then? An IEP is designed for students who require specialized instruction due to a disability that impacts their ability to learn in a typical classroom setting. What is the eligibility criteria? Students must have a disability that is one of the 13 categories defined by the IDEA, such as autism, specific learning disabilities, emotional disturbance, speech or language impairments, or other health impairments. The disability must affect the student's ability to make adequate progress in school, even with general classroom accommodations. Well, what's included in the IEP? The IEP provides specialized instruction and services designed to meet the student's unique needs. Examples of support in an IEP include 1. Special education services such as smaller class size or individualized instruction. 2. Related services such as speech therapy or occupational therapy. 3. Behavioral interventions. 4. Modifications to the curriculum. And 5. Goals for academic and functional progress. An IEP is much more detailed than a 504 plan and includes specific goals, accommodations, and services with measurable objectives. The IEP process begins with a comprehensive evaluation of the student, often involving testing and assessments by a team of professionals, including special education teachers, psychologists, and parents. The IEP team, which includes parents, teachers, administrators, and specialists, then develops an individualized education plan. The IEP is reviewed annually and adjusted as needed to ensure the student's needs are being met. What are the key differences between a 504 and an IEP plan? Well, one is eligibility. A 504 plan is for students with disabilities who need accommodation to access education but don't necessarily require specialized instruction. An IEP is for students who need special education services and additional supports to progress in school. And a 504 plan provides accommodations such as extra time, modified test formats, or assistive technology, but does not include specialized instruction, while an IEP includes both accommodations and specialized instruction such as additional tutoring, therapy, or changes to the teaching approach. And the legal framework again is that 504 plan is part of the Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, which focuses on civil rights and anti-discrimination in education, and the IEP is part of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, which mandates that schools provide specialized services to students with disabilities. How does the review process go? The 504 is reviewed periodically, but generally less frequently than an IEP, and the IEP is reviewed at least annually and can be adjusted more frequently to meet the student's needs. So how do you actually navigate the process of getting a 504 or an IEP? Number one is that you identify the need for support. You can start by discussing your concerns with your child's teacher or school counselor. Document any challenges your child is facing in the classroom. If you believe that your child requires additional support, you can formally request a 504 plan or an IEP evaluation from the school. Then the school will conduct an evaluation to determine if the child qualifies for a 504 plan or an IEP. This may be involved in the academic testing, behavioral assessment, and consultations with specialists. Finally, the plan is developed. If the evaluation shows that the child qualifies, the team will work with you to create a plan that best supports their needs, whether through a 504 or an IEP. Gradually, then, you will also review and adjust. Both the 504 plan and the IEP should be reviewed regularly to ensure that the support is still effective. Don't hesitate to ask for adjustments if needed. So when should you choose a 504 versus an IEP? Choose a 504 if your child has a disability that impacts learning, but they don't require specialized education. If your child needs accommodations to help them perform at a same level as their peers, or if your child's disability may include physical conditions like asthma, ADHD, or anxiety. Choose an IEP if your child has a disability that significantly affects their ability to succeed in the regular classroom setting without additional support. Your child needs specialized instruction or therapies such as speech therapy or occupational therapy to access the curriculum, wrap up, and resources. So remember, school support exists to help you succeed, and you're their best advocate. So how can you actually advocate for your child? 1, you can observe your child and note any strengths or struggles. 2, communicate with teachers and school counselors. 3, request the evaluations if needed. And that was mentioned above, in that you can actually put in a formal request for evaluation for an IEP or a 504. And 4, know your rights. I briefly mentioned the laws like IDEA and Section 504, and they're there in place to help you protect your child when it comes to the school environment. And also remember too, School support isn't just about academics. Schools also have resources for emotional and social development, like school psychologists and peer programs, so don't forget this valuable resource as well. So quick tips for you can be to check in with your child often and encourage open communication. Their emotional health is just as important as their grades. And remember, for both 504 and IEP plans, they are valuable tools in ensuring that students with disabilities can thrive in the school environment. Whether your child needs accommodations or specialized instruction, it's important to understand that the differences between them and how each plan can support their unique needs. If you're navigating this process, don't hesitate to reach out to your child's school to discuss their eligibility and start this support plan. If you found this video helpful, check out our other videos on education and mental health, such as ADHD, autism, and how to support your child, and leave a comment with any questions or topics you'd like to cover below. Together, we can help our children succeed.